Morning. Welcome to DHB Devotion, Health, and Beauty Recovery Network. Daily affirmations, meditations, devotions, and reflections. Read by me, Day. My name is spelled DAA, and DAA are actually my initials. I have found upon awakening every morning in my actively pursuing intentional wellness and recovery, it has been a blessing for me to be able to affirm myself and devote myself to the me of my recovery, putting all the pieces together to face each day, 24 hours at a time. I invite you to walk with me on the recovery journey of hope, renewal, resilience, and self reflection. And to remember that you are not alone. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. Fair Use, March 9. Surrendering Self-Will. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 34. No matter how much one wishes to try, exactly how can one turn his own will and his own life over to the care of whatever God he thinks there is? In my search for the answer to this question, I became aware of the wisdom with which it was written that this is a two-part step. I could see many times where I should have died or at least been injured during my previous style of living, and it never happened. Someone or something was looking after me. I choose to believe my life has always been in God's care. He alone controls the number of days I will be granted until physical death. The matter of will, self-will, or God's will is the more difficult part of the step for me. It is only when I have experienced enough emotional pain through failed attempts to fix myself that I become willing to surrender to God's will for my life. Surrender is like the calm after the storm. When my will is in line with God's will for me, there is peace within. Fair use. Courage to change one day at a time in Al-Anon, March 9. I often struggle to know what is my will and what is God's. I feel serenity slipping from me while a war is waged within my mind, and loud voices urge me to take one path or another. Doubt is an unavoidable companion of spiritual seeking. I don't have an instruction book, so I must continue to explore and challenge my perceptions. I know that when I feel a desperate urge to act, it is usually my will that is pushing. And when I feel a calm certainty, it is usually God's. But much of the time, I don't have such a clear indication. What then? Sometimes I wait for clarity or try to listen more closely for guidance. I may share my confusion and ask for the wisdom of others, or I may just make a choice, take an action, and see what happens. More will be revealed when the time is right, no matter what choice I make. Since I have turned my will and my life over to God, any choice I make can be used to carry out His will. Today's reminder. Today I will remember that uncertainty is not a fault but an opportunity. Everything I do and everything that crosses my path, people, situations, ideas, all have the potential to contribute to my growth. and understanding. Just for today, I don't have to know what that contribution will be. There's a quote, and it reads, "There lives more faith in honest doubt, believe me, than in half the creeds." Alfred Lord Tennyson. Fair use. Just for today, daily meditations for recovering addicts. March 9. Small things. In the past, we made simple situations into problems. We made mountains out of molehills. Basic text, page 90. Making mountains out of molehills seems to be our specialty. Have you heard it said that to an addict, a flat tire is a traumatic event? Or how about those of us who forget all pretense of principle when confronted with a bad driver? And what about that can opener that won't work? You know, the one you just threw out the second story window? We can relate when we hear others share, "God grant me patience right now." No, it's not the major setbacks that drive us to distraction. The big things, divorce, death, serious illness, loss of job, will throw us, but we survive them. We've learned from experience that we must reach out to our higher power and to others to make it through life's major crisis. It's the small things, the constant day to day challenges of living life without the use of drugs that seem to affect most addicts most strongly in recovery. When the little things get to us, the serenity prayer can help us regain our perspective. We can all remember that turning over these small matters to the care of our higher power results in peace of mind and a refreshed perspective on life. Just for today, I will work on patience. I will try to keep from blowing things out of proportion and walk with my higher power through my day. Fair use. Today, Emotions Anonymous, March 9. Reflection for today. Could I go a whole day, a whole 24 hours without trying to improve or regulate anybody except myself? It does not seem like a difficult task. After all, I am the only one I can change. Yet, why do I expend so much of my energy on trying to change others? How do I know what is good for another person? Most of the time, I don't know what is good for me. Today, I will try extremely hard to accept other people, regardless of their behavior. Today, I will concentrate on my qualities, bad or good, and let the other person be an individual with human foibles. If this dedication to myself only works 5 hours today, maybe it will last 6 hours tomorrow, and I will have taken another giant step on my path toward serenity. Meditation for today. Help me to let you make all the improvements on the human race. Today I will remember. During this day, I will accept others as they are, human just like me, and entitled to their humanity. Fair use. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. March 9. Freedom. We seek the power we need to live in freedom each day. BRB, Big Red Book, page 116. As we listen to story after story of neglect in meetings, we may get angry for those around us. Then, if we listen closely, we hear the voice inside that says, "What about me?" We start to pay attention and create space with our words and actions to let that voice finally say what it needs to, what was denied for so long. This process extends into our step work and then into our very lives at work and in play. Perhaps for the first time we begin to feel free. We start to play and learn what that means for us. We learn to slow down because being overscheduled is acting out against our true selves. We see that when we have too much to do, it's harder to get in touch with how we feel. This is no longer okay. We take the actions we need to for our inner child the same way we would for another child placed in our care. In this way, we cultivate an inner loving parent and free ourselves. We are no longer waiting for our tormentors to wake up and stop abusing us. The conversation is over. We know now how to nurture ourselves. The affirmation reads, on this day, I will do something playful and fun. I will feel the freedom that my inner child deserves to experience. DHB Recovery Network Daily Affirmations, Reflections, Devotions, and Meditations. Please subscribe, like, share, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be, one day at a time.